y'all feeling tonight? Let me hear y'all. All right.
Did you enjoy that season of Insecure?
Yeah.
You didn't. You can say that too.
Be
Who
real.
hated it?
I didn't. It's the truth.
Yikes.
All right. So one thing before we begin, as a professional mental health counselor, I don't want none of y'all using depression as a reason to ghost niggas, okay? 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 We are not doing that.
It's
we are not doing
me.
that.
I do this all the time.
You need better communication. No, we are not using depression and depressive symptoms to justify our ghosting people. We are not. We are all grown. We will communicate. A simple, a nigga's not feeling well is sufficient enough. We are not going to disappear for a month and a half and then show up like, oh, a nigga was depressed. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. All right? All right. So, we are in a whole Uprising, the podcast, the brand about sex, love, and dating from the perspective of 4 black queer feminists. All right? All right.
First of all, does everyone have a drink? I'm seeing empty hands.
This is the wine down, and if you don't drink wine, you should have something else in your hand.
We're here to talk shit.
I highly recommend a pineapple and Henny. I'm sorry. This is my 4th one, so forgive me.
Y'all are a tough crowd.
Damn. Jazz hands. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Cool. Glad you stuck around.
Yes,
Yeah.
we appreciate y'all. We're in a whole Uprising. We're here with Bro Move, and we are here with Love Story. And this is
at Love Story.
Yes.
Who likes Love Story? Who loves Love Story?
There you go.
Okay. Heard you.
And we thought after the season finale, y'all would love your own wind down. We could talk about some shit, joke about some shit.
Who here is Team Issa? Nobody. Wow, that's crazy.
Damn. Team Molly?
Woo! I'm Team Molly.
Team Lawrence?
Team Nathan? Team Issa. Okay.
Yay! Team Issa.
Team Kelly?
Woo!
I love Kelly. Same, yeah. Okay. Hello, live stream. We're also streaming this on Facebook. YouTube. I've had many drinks. Haha. All right, so we're gonna talk some shit. Let's get into it.
Well, first up, what are y'all some general thoughts about season 3 of
Initial
Insecure?
reactions. How was that ending? Was it good?
I see somebody shaking your head.
I'm sorry. Let's roll this back. General rules. It's a one mic kind of place. Raise your hand. I'll run to you with my mic. And you can share your answer. All right.
I see you shaking your head. You got something to
Somebody
say.
hated it. Who hated this? Okay, run to them.
What are your thoughts? Shaking your head.
It was stressful.
Mic to mouth. Get it real
Stressful.
close.
Stressful with a capital S.
Stressful.
Why?
I feel like I'm tired of watching them make like now I feel like I know them, they're my friends, and I see their patterns, and I'm like, no, Molly, why are you gonna do that again?
Have you never been in your 20s? Have you never made mistakes?
I'm in my 20s now.
It's the
but they're
worst.
not in their 20s, so I want them to be better.
Ooh,
Not
I get better.
They're late
Heard
20s
you.
though. Give them that.
But then if they're not there, then what does that mean for me?
Give them a moment.
No.
Nah, I get you. It's very cringy.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Initial reactions?
Was anybody else frustrated by Molly? Because, my God.
Molly's too sexy to
Go
be
ahead.
frustrated, to be
Nah.
honest.
I actually love this season because the entire season you can.
Akua trying to hit on you. I just want you to know that.
I don't want to touch
Akua trying to hit on you. I just want you to know that.
Because the entire season was about adulting, and I just realized, not just realized, but I see how Molly came to her adulting moment in the very last episode. I know you said people were frustrated with Molly, but she came to her adulting moment in the very last episode, whereas other people were realizing it as well, realizing it as they were going along. Even Issa, because Issa was always insecure. I mean, the show is about Issa. She's insecure in herself, and she didn't like the rejection, so she kind of felt like, okay, I can't do this block party thing. But then she see how actually black people can come together and do this thing, and then she was like, maybe I should give it another try. And then she actually met up with the other female. Excuse me, was that disrespectful?
No, that's
Okay, 'cause I
Also,
know some
woman,
people-
not female.
I know. See, that's what I
That's
said.
what he
Cool.
was
Some,
asking.
some
Yeah,
people
he
don't
was like, was that a
some people
problem?
don't like female. And I just like how this season came to an end. I'm sad it came to an end in 8 episodes. I'm like, what's going on with
Very
these 8
short.
episodes? But no, the first season was 10, right? Yeah, and then the second and the third was 8. So I don't know what's going on with that. But that's what I thought.
We need to petition to HBO.
They better run our
Secure
money.
more funding. Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Any more thoughts?
Season 3, how y'all feel about it?
Christina.
I'm thinking about how that episode ended, and Molly. What did I want to say about Molly? I mean,
She is sexy.
She is not Molly fine. Don't do Molly like
I
that.
think Issa's fine. I think Molly's alright.
I mean, Issa fine. I feel like you look like Issa, and that might be why you find Issa.
like Issa.
Ooh, all right.
Does everyone look like Issa?
Everybody.
Every dark skinned chick up in this bitch look like Issa.
I had something to say, and when it's more formulated,
We come back to you. We got you.
I love that. Thank you.
We got you.
So what are the hopes for season? Oh, this is a season 3 recap. No. I was gonna say, what are your hopes for season 4? But that can tie in from season 3. That's fine.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
So my hope for season 4 is that I know earlier in season 3, Molly, or maybe it was season 2, Molly was seeing a therapist, and I loved that because I think we all need someone to check us when we're wrong. But Issa just
Shout out to Black mental health therapists.
yeah.
Employ Akua. She's broke right now.
No,
She needs.
I'm broke as fuck. Yeah.
But she's
I'm working on
supporting
it.
the community, and we respect that.
Thank you.
But yes, I feel like Issa just checked Molly real quick. Like, don't put your personal issues on my like thriving relationship. Even though you may not approve of Nathan, you know, he's someone that I really was feeling. You know, like why would you shut him down like that without telling me? You know, so I feel Issa on that. For season 4,
Isn't that the hallmark of friendship?
what do you mean?
What?
Accountability, like checking your friends.
True.
Like,
Yeah.
bitch.
That's how
Yeah.
you survive
That's
some
you,
shit.
not me.
That's how you survive some shit. Yeah.
I agree. My friends had to check me in Miami. You know, you need everybody needs to be.
You
They-
said Molly
yeah,
had
yeah,
a right
yeah,
to
yeah.
check. Wait, let's not silence black women. I'm assuming you're a woman. A woman?
Yeah.
Okay. Finish your statement, please.
Yeah, just for season 4, I would love to see them continue to grow in their friendship and be real with each other, and also for them to explore like relationships, because they seem to be struggling with that. Like from season 1 to now, they're really struggling in their relationships, and I want to see them grow in themselves, but also grow to love other people. Like you should be able to do that for 30 at least.
More questions on that later.
Here's to 30.
Yes.
What is
So-
your homie in the glasses about to say?
No, I actually like that Molly sent Nathan away because.
Without telling her?
Well, I mean, she should have.
We got an opinion right here. We have opposing.
She should have told her, but Molly got up and was like, "Nah, you can't. No, not on her birthday. Go somewhere else with that shit." And I actually like that. If I was a friend and I saw my friend going through the shit that Issa went through, she's stalking his Facebook, showing up to his house in pajamas, her hair not done, and all this other stuff. I mean, come on now.
Akua, you better not respect that because I'm crazy.
Now you know I was
my nigga pulled.
No, you know I will send a nigga away, but I also say, yo, Sam, that nigga pulled up. You'll text him later, but we going to this movie.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I wouldn't wait till after the movie to tell you, but that nigga definitely was not gonna speak to you after until we had our day. Yes, he could wait till Monday.
Go ahead.
No, I feel like Molly does the most. Like
Thank you.
she should not be pushing someone that Issa likes away because she feels a certain way. That's not her relationship. She didn't smash him. She didn't go to tacos with him. Like, that's not her business, right? She didn't put the work in. Yeah, she didn't smash on the Ferris wheel. Like, she didn't do all that. So that's not her business to be like, yo, you need to get out of here. That's her own insecurities.
A month and a half, though.
It was a month. Listen,
You keep adding 2
if
weeks.
you
No.
remember, he fought that guy. He fought that guy in the lift, right? He fought that guy in the lift, and then the cops came. He was like, "Yo, I need my own time right now. I need my own
So
space."
communicate that, and then I wouldn't have to step in.
But
as Molly.
that's a different conversation.
I mean,
That's
that's
a
what
different
I said
conversation.
before.
That's not Molly saying, "Yo, you don't need to be here right now." That's not Molly's dick to be saying that. I'm sorry.
Any other thoughts?
It was bad. You trying to hate on the light-skinned homies. I heard you.
You hear that, Corey?
Nothing.
Hating on light-skinned people? Oh, okay.
Yikes.
I can't even see you because the light's on you.
I'm personally offended. As the light-skinned representative here. I'm hurt. I'm hurting.
Well, to actually say something. If he was offering something in like relationships terms, then maybe Molly wouldn't be out of place. But he wasn't offering anything. Like he was with her for a week.
He sat in my bed and told me it was real though. So what am I supposed to take from that?
Exactly. Exactly. He
Ooh,
gave you lies.
You heard that technicality?
He gave you lies and light skin. That's all.
Yeah, that gets you sometimes. Yeah.
That's all I've got to offer, ladies and gentlemen. Lies and light skin and a fat ass.
Yo, Sam, somebody outside calling you. Like, so what I wanted to ask about, or just sort of pose to everybody, I'm thinking about how Lawrence came to Issa on the blanket in the during the movie, and as soon as she sort of said like, oh, she's not doing that no more, I saw like the fire that he had and went over there with it sort of like go away. He was like not interested anymore, even though he was like, he bought her fucking Raisinets. Like Raisinets are nasty. He looked for them shit.
First of all, Raisinets are delicious.
Okay,
but
she likes them, and other people like them, I guess.
True.
So I'm not gonna judge, but I'm just thinking about, and then he ends up with Shorty, who actually is getting to it. You know, he's actually fucking with the girl who is. So I'm just thinking about like how, you know, what is seemingly Issa's lack of ambition was like, it became a turnoff. Yeah, lack of ambition is sort of not sexy at all, right? So, but yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys are thinking about that.
Hi, everybody. She was just discouraged. That's really what it was, and it was just a situation. I mean, the way they're playing it out, we kind of know what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a confrontation later, and it's gonna get us all riled up. But I mean, she was just discouraged, and I think it was really cool that she, maybe he was turned off by it, because he kind of told her like, oh, you kind of just gave up, and then she thought about it, and then she went ahead and then talked to, the girl that had, Condola, that put down the whole thing, that put that event down. So I don't know, to me it's like she might have been discouraged, but there's that resolve. He didn't see that resolve though. That's the thing. He didn't see her like try again.
But it seems like Issa is easily discouraged. If we go back to season 1 or season 2, when Lawrence was out here with no job, she was discouraged and she let that go real quick. And now she's discouraged again and she letting it go again real quick. Hold on, I see you, baby. I see you. What you got to say?
I was going to piggyback off what he said in the corner. I think that when people break up with someone and they you kind of have that moment when you see them outside and you kind of think of how that person changed or if that person is still the same. So I think when they ran into each other at the baby shower, he was kind of like, oh, she looking good. Her skin is flourishing. Like, I wonder if she's doing better. Like, he got curious again. And that little brief moment on the blanket, he was kind of like, oh, I think she's the same. Like, he didn't really see the growth within her. But that was like a momentary thing. I mean, I want her to get back with Daniel, so I'm ready to see that.
Where the hell did Daniel go up in here? Okay, heard you. Can we talk about the fact that Daniel just disappeared? Yeah, I thought he was going to make a comeback in the season finale, but he didn't.
Nah, they said bye, Daniel, and they met.
Daniel.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You knew.
I'm predictable.
Oh no! With Issa and Daniel,
he helped her pack. Oh, there you go.
They were at it was 2 scenes. So they were at three. Yeah, they were at his apartment in the bed. They were at his apartment in the bed, and then they tried to do something after they had that really terrible dinner where they were really nasty with each other. And he was just like, you don't know what it's like to have passion for something. And she was like, wow, you know me, so that hurts. And then they almost had sex, and then it was like, we don't want to have sex with each other. This is a dub. This is like the ultimate dub. Yeah. But then he also was like, right, this doesn't feel right, as he should. And then that's it. Molly said what's up to him as he was, helping her pack her stuff. And then that was that. That was the last we saw of Daniel.
Who misses Daniel?
I do, nigga. I love that nigga.
Sexy as hell.
I
mean, he's fine as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but
I like their dynamic. They known each other for a long time. He was always the what if guy, and they never fully explored it. Like they always did it half-assed, like just sex, just friends, just this, just that. Like they never gave it a good try. So
Daniel's definitely the one who got away, and we always like fantasize about that one person.
I guess.
What's our next question, girl?
Our next question. Well, did anyone else answer their hopes for season 4? What do you guys want to see?
I hope that there is a season 4.
There is.
No, there is.
Okay. They were. Okay. Copy.
There's that.
Good.
What do you guys want to see in the next 8 to 10 episodes? We gonna start a petition. We gonna start a petition tonight. Like we all signing tonight.
HBO.
Mark Kelly.
Yes. Wait, do you want to speak on it?
Hold on. This
In general. Heard you.
This young person has a mic.
Okay.
Even though I'm team Lawrence, I would like to see Issa move on. Just him coming back to the season was such a retrograde. It was like I just wanted her to just move on.
Because real life is not like that, right?
Yeah,
like you don't just keep drifting back to your exes unless you're Samantha.
Listen,
yeah.
A Drake album will drop and then we all going back. We all getting in our moods, but I just wanted more from her this season, and I hope season 4 she does other stuff.
But did you feel like she retreated back to him, or do you feel like now the show is just both of them exploring like what they're doing in their adult lives? Because he started. He's an original cast member.
I think it's easier to get past a Nathan when there's an idea of a Lawrence. So it's just like, oh, you know what?
Heard you.
I could get off of him a little bit if I see a prospect that could. He got me raising
like
nets.
That.
It's like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not the same for him as it is for her. So
What do you
I don't
mean by
want
that?
her. Cause he's got Gondola on deck, and
That's a church girl?
yeah.
Gondola.
Oh, yes. That's the event girl.
You were close.
That's the event girl, yes. That's not the church girl.
I don't even know when y'all heard her name.
Lawrence got
Condolences.
bitches. Excuse my language. Only the women can say that.
Nah, I just want more from her.
Lawrence got prospects.
All right.
Heard you. Makes sense.
Got you. I feel it. Yes.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hello.
Good.
Hey.
So, like, do y'all think that, like, Issa maybe giving, what's his name? The light-skinned dude is Nathan, right? Yeah. Y'all think that he's...
Nansford.
What's his name? Nansford?
You know what his name is.
Nansford.
Nansford.
But nah, do y'all
It's a
think,
safe space.
like,
Safe space.
All right,
You got it.
But do y'all think like Issa may be giving him a hard time, like because of his situation? Cause
So.
hold on. Hold on.
Because I was ready.
Ready. This is a question. This is not a.
It is a question.
It's not a real thing. Feel me? Sure. This is a question. Nah, but I'm saying though.
A hard time for what?
I'm just talking from my experience. Like, there's women that's ghosted me. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So. It didn't make it right, but at the end of the day, you got to still understand somebody's situation. Because what if you go through the same thing?
Communication.
You want somebody
How
to
can I?
understand you too. Right?
How can I understand your situation if you don't communicate it to me?
I mean, he was. As I'm saying, it seemed like he was.
Hold on. One mic. Oh, there you go.
But it seemed like they was getting there.
If they was getting there, why the fuck you for a month?
Thank you.
And not say shit about anything.
How you know, like, his mom ain't died or something?
But he didn't say his mom died. It's a quick text. Yo, mom's passed. Period. That's it. You really don't have to say much. You don't have to say much.
And I wait for you to come back.
I don't know. I guess.
Okay. What's
He got scared and he dipped. I mean, I don't see what the problem was. I mean, the problem was on his end though, because he just couldn't take the fact that, okay, I just met this chick and it feels like I'm getting caught up in this too fast. Let me pull back, and I'm gonna pull back for a month, and then I'm gonna show up unexpectedly.
I don't. Also, as I don't want to downplay that depression is real for people. Symptoms come up unexpectedly for people. It could have just hit him. We don't know. Fictional characters. He said what he said. We got to take it at face length.
He's light-skinned too.
But he light-skinned too.
Say light-skinned people are depressed, because that's fucking true. I'm sad as shit, guys. I'm very sad.
But no,
Not just light skin, he had blue eyes. I think it was extra soul. Green, blue, purple, I don't know.
Okay, so what's your name, my friend?
We not going direct thing.
Your name is Nathan?
No.
Oh, damn.
Nah. They call me OD. That's
OD?
my name.
Okay. All right, OD. Okay, so I'm somebody, like, I feel like I'm a super communicator, as in I tell people maybe sometimes too much. So if I had a long day at work, I'd be like, yo, my fault, I'm going to hit you when I get off work. Like, I'm always going to be communicating with you. However, what my friends and even my partner here can say is that we can't expect of others what we would do to other people, right? So while I may be a super communicator, I can't expect Nathan to be a super communicator. And so if I'm imposing what I would do on him, and then I'm disappointed because he's not acting to what I would expect, then I got to check myself too, right?
Amen.
So normally in real life, I would be pissed at Nathan too, but as I'm observing Issa, I do want her to be a little more forgiving of him, because he does look hurt. And we don't know. He flew back to Houston. He wasn't in LA. He wasn't. No, really.
Wait. Okay. So should Issa have done something? Should she have taken a particular action, or should
No, I think Issa did all the things that any girl would have done. It's like you pressed for a moment, and your girl checks you like, yo, you need to relax, and she relaxed, you know. And I think now that he came to her with his honesty, she needs to marinate on it and decide what she wants to do.
That's valid.
We have to respect other people's space. She may have wanted him to reply sooner than a month, but he's working on his own time. We don't know what happened to him.
That's actually a really good point, and I want to take back to that last scene. You know what? Disagree with somebody else, bitch.
I just want to take a poll. I want to take a quick poll.
But I want to go back to that last scene where Issa unpacked. If y'all remember last scene where she put that bitch on fire.
Yes.
And in this season, she unpacked, nigga. And she looked content.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that for a minute? That growth. Because we've talked about how Issa hasn't grown, you know. And that growth.
This season, I've seen her growth. We got a homie.
Again. Yeah, that self-care and self-love, I thought that was essential. We didn't see that really kind of from anyone until that scene. And it's like, okay, all this has happened. I was wrong. I was right in the situation. But you know what? I'm going to heal me right now. And I'm going to do something I should have probably done a long time ago. And I think we all kind of have that from time to time in the relationships that we come across in life. So, I mean, I thought that was really good, because now she's in the right frame of mind moving forward to deal with whatever she's got to deal with.
Thank you. You're a healthy person. We should all aspire to be like, what's your name?
Sorry, my name is Jacob.
I don't know about Jacob, so I ain't going to aspire to be nothing, but
in
I
the
like
two
that.
things
I
that
like
he
that
said,
answer,
I'm
yes.
like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Why did you disagree? What did you say again? I've had a lot of Hennessy. Say it again. I just feel like Issa should have, I think that her initial reaction should have been like, yo, if there's something wrong, tell me.
Yeah.
So she should have said that in the first place. And if he didn't respond to that, then why respect his space? Like, off rip, you can say, going through a lot right now. You don't have to ghost me completely. That's kind of fucked up, in my opinion.
You know, I agree with that, in that when she was pressed, you know, a question could be like, my nigga, you good? And if he answered it,
I'm alive, need some time. That's all.
But then
I ain't ghosted right now, so I'm a little pissed.
But that's spoon feeding niggas shit that they need to do as grown men.
Okay, so why did he do that? So
again, we know that he's fucked up. All right, I'm not making.
I have depression too. Hold on, before we get to that,
because he's gonna say something. I'm gonna say, preach. No backstory, no nothing. Across the board, you fuck somebody, you chilling with them in the bed.
You say this has never felt like it's.
This dude asks you, "Yo, this feel real? Yeah, it feel real.
It's all good. Damn,
how you know it's real?
Yeah.
Then let's just forget everything else other than dude disappear, girl disappear for a month and a half.
That's fucked up off rip.
Come back on your birthday? I know
that's never okay.
In theory, we could be like, yeah, you know, that's cool. You're doing your thing, but at the same
time, you're not doing your thing.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to see you.
Open arms.
Wait, no one. No.
Let me be honest, because from the episode,
you with it?
This nigga was fucking in the boat. He was on bikers, son. Shit was fucked up.
We don't even believe the story that he
didn't have a phone. He didn't have a full phone.
But if he went to jail, I'd rather hear that. Like,
preach, you can go too.
This nigga was not in jail. He was posting on Instagram. You gonna get me tight. He was getting haircuts. He was cutting hair. You were not locked up. That's the only ghost excuse. You're dead or you're locked up. Otherwise, don't ghost me. We have beef.
Hold on.
What is Preach gonna say?
Nah, in all seriousness though, like, you guys usually want to give the space to a guy if he's going through something, like you mentioned, like something traumatic. No, don't put the camera on me, man. Something traumatic can happen where everything shuts down, and I don't pick up my phone. I want to just go in the cave and just figure myself out before, especially when dealing with her. He's in the he don't even know really. So why are you shaking your head for? Like,
because a 2-second text message.
It's a 2-second text.
Sometimes it's not that simple.
They could even say, "I'm not
died." People have died, and I have told people I can't right now. The end.
Right.
5 seconds. Bill wants to say something. Bill owns this establishment.
Oh, you want me to finish? No, I'm just saying, like, sometimes, like, certain traumatic things happen in your life, and sometimes, you know what, you just got to go in the cave and just chill out.
Communication.
Communication is, listen, man.
Hell, nigga, send me a BRB. I'll wait. Like, but let me know you gonna be back. Damn.
So, man, I've been wanting to say so much stuff, but we Team Lawrence over here first. But in this situation right here, you can't just walk in and out of a woman's life when you want to. And I feel like the perfect response was that. Like, it goes back, and this goes back to something I want to say earlier, because it goes back to Molly. Had he just walked up to the door with the flowers, Issa probably would have been all like, oh, okay, don't worry, man, it's all right. But nah. Molly kind of put it in her head, like, kind of set a little checkpoint, and now later, Issa looked at the situation, and she was like, no, you can't just come in and out when you want. You should have communicated with me. And it kind of hardened her place, and she was able to push him away.
It was a month. She was already like, fuck him. Well, she was already like, fuck him. I'm not saying that I think it was an addition, but she already was like, fuck this guy. I'm trying to be happy, drama free. I'm gonna eat all this
slightly,
food.
but she was like still stalking, still showing up at his house. She still would have accepted some things from him if
she probably would have had a conversation with him, but she probably would have still been tight. Month.
That conversation.
You literally had me going nuts for a month. Fuck
that's
that.
The thing. The conversation didn't need to happen.
Somebody ever goes to you for a month? Cause I'll be ready to fight. Fuck that.
I was ready to pull up the week of.
Has anyone ever been ghosted for a month?
Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Are you okay?
Let's not do that.
So I feel like no, that's mad real. Listen, you delete everybody, you delete them, you delete anybody they know, you delete people you think they might know, like you stop going to places. No, but I feel like it's a thin line, so I understand depression and people processing things, but I don't feel like Issa should prioritize his healing over hers.
More motherfucking word tonight.
Because she can acknowledge his healing and be like, word, that was real, you were going through that, but like, what does that have to do with me? Because I'm dealing with my own shit. And also, you know I'm dealing with my own shit. So like, I don't have to, like, you can't take up more space than I have to take up for myself. So.
Yes!
I'm spoiling here.
Woo! Healthier than me. Woo!
Ooh, question.
honest question, like, when can you ever say BRB and it actually just ends at BRB? You, no matter what you're going through, if you respond to somebody, you say anything, it's always gonna be another question after that. It's always gonna be issues. You can't just say, yo, BRB, I'm going through this right now, I can't respond. They're gonna ask you questions. You can't say that. So it's better to not say anything.
Personally, I feel like if you're dealing with a healthy person, if you say BRB to me, I'm like, got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for
I
these.
see it. Yeah.
You
For
know,
me.
rather than we was just good and you just disappeared off the face of the earth.
We got a homie.
Nah,
we got a homie.
because I hear
Nah,
mad
nah, nah, nah.
selfish shit with this whole Nathan situation.
Got you.
Like on some real,
He
like
pursued her.
on this on one side, I'm definitely siding with Nathan because nobody knows what the fuck Nathan is going through. Everybody's so concerned with their own feelings, and granted, he does like Issa doesn't have to take Nathan's feelings into consideration, none of that, because I've been on both sides of ghosting. I've been ghosted. You don't know what the fuck Nathan is going through for you to start making all of these assumptions about how the fuck he should have been, how he should have responded to this situation. And sometimes you don't want to speak to people because you don't want to hear certain questions because you don't have the answers for those fucking questions.
That's real.
No?
Like you want to like and now like sometimes like my pride comes into things. Like I don't reach out to people if I know they're going to ask me a certain question that I'm not ready to answer. I'm not ready to have that conversation, and he could have easily been in that space. He's not ready to have that conversation right now. Because when he pulled up to old girl crib, knowing that he should have apologized some time ago, that nigga looked fucking hurt. That nigga look all types of raggedy. That nigga's a barber. Did you see his beard?
His lineup was not.
Did you
correct.
see his eyes? That he looked like he was going through it too. And because we're watching a show from certain, I write, so I understand perspectives of characters. And because we're watching it through the eyes of Issa and the girls and all this other shit, we automatically take their situations into priority first. Even though there are secondary characters, everybody is going through some shit. Because you might be going through something and you can easily talk about it, that does not mean somebody's ready to talk about that because you are. So stop putting your shit on other people, please. It goes on both sides.
A word.
You real as fuck. You real as fuck.
That's a word.
Ain't no word. Why would you say that? Who said that?
Oh, you're ready to fight. Wow.
You're very interactive today.
I talk a lot. I'm sorry. He was going for a month and he was posting on Instagram. So yes, he probably was going through things, but he can't be on Instagram posting things talking about, oh, I'm happy this and happy that and happy this and happy that. And he wasn't going through that much if he was on Instagram.
Last back and forth.
Because look, my father passed like a year or something ago.
Thank you for being
I
real.
ghosted all my fucking friends, but I was still on social media liking shit because I had to keep myself distracted. You could feel however the fuck you want to feel. I had to keep myself distracted, and that's the easiest distraction. We're always on social media because that shit is a distraction. Social media goes a lot of ways. So you could use it to heal. You could use it to find your community. You could use it to find link-ups.
Yes.
You could use it to keep yourself distracted. And that's easily something that he could have been doing. Like, the nigga could have been laid up someplace, all this other place. Like, you don't know what he was doing. He was laying there scrolling because his mind was idle, and that was some idle shit to do.
That's true. That is true. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Also, I'd like to point out, I know we've been using that as a basis of an argument, but he was actually tagged in something saying thanks for the lineup. He didn't post that on his own page. He didn't post anything on his page.
So he was
Someone
working.
tagged him.
He was working.
He was just working.
What do you want to say?
You gotta get money, right? First of all, but you don't on social media. If you post something, you don't have to answer to nobody. It's like if you text somebody directly, you gotta answer to them. They're gonna ask you a question like she was saying or whatever like that. So yeah, I don't know.
To add on to that, before Will says anything, sorry. I think because we live in a day and age where we always have our phone, we feel obligated that we have to communicate with people. This is
Speak on it.
This is still a choice. Just because I have this on me does not mean I have to answer you.
Speak on it.
We are all individuals. Before this existed, we lived our lives. You still living your life. Someone texts you, not supposed to be like, oh my God, I have to answer you within 5 minutes. Live your life.
At the end of the day, it's about respect. And no matter what you're doing, No matter if you're grieving, no matter if you're out of town.
Well, not grieving, because that's
whatever's going on. Whatever's going on with no matter whatever's going on with you, Issa, whoever you are in this situation, have the right to demand the respect you want to receive.
True.
And you shouldn't not have taken that long. You did, and this is the consequence. And if you don't set a consequence, he can't continue and will continue to make the same mistakes.
Those boundaries.
So setting the boundaries is really important, and I love that Issa did that. And not only that she did that, but I love the way the season ended because she's finally realizing like she doesn't really need anybody. She can be happy with herself and goes back into the unpacking and everything. So.
Thank you. Yes.
That was beautiful.
Right. We got one more word before we move to the next question.
Ghosting, everyone's done it. We've been on both sides of it. It's
She's like, not everyone. Sorry.
Congratulations. Congratulations. It's still early though. It's not. There's still some time left.
You have a chance to ghost me. Don't worry.
Yeah. I mean, I just think, I can't believe I'm even saying this. It's just a lack of, it's kind of childish to ghost because you could communicate and still get the same results. Like, you really could just be honest and like, it takes 2 seconds and I'd rather avoid it. People avoid, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to avoid confrontation. I want to avoid that, but
yeah,
it's a thing. Like, I don't know.
So to jump to the next question,
Jump on, Dan.
It's kind of I'm jumping the list, but
go for it.
I want to know what character people relate to the most.
Shout out to Mike John for
we're
that
all kind of
question.
taking sides, but I feel like people have characters in mind that they're like, that's definitely the person where everything they do, I understand it because that's me. Kelly. Why Kelly?
Speak on it.
I wasn't expecting to hear Kelly so soon, but I'm happy.
I like Kelly because she's so free in who she is. She doesn't give a fuck what anybody has to think about her. And I'm gonna say she's free. I mean, you know what I mean by free, but she's free. And that's it.
She's the one who's like, let's do these drugs and this, that, and the fourth. She's fucking. She's doing all that healthily.
Right. She's free spirited, and that she doesn't. We know. She's free with her cooch. She's free with herself. Like she knows her size. She knows who she is, and she's just like, she's free spirited. She's funny. She's free in a lot of different ways, actually.
Any more Kellys in the room? Anybody else?
Team Kelly. Team Kelly.
There you go.
You want to speak on it? I feel that.
She's also a writer, so it's like she writes for the show too. So
They need to give her some storyline. Like, I know she writes, like, Natasha, that's my homegirl in spirit, my spirit animal, but I need to see her on my screen. Yeah.
Did anybody else feel uncomfortable during the Coachella scene when Kelly got tased and peed on herself?
Me.
That made me feel. No, speak on it.
I mean, I know she's comic relief, but sometimes I'm just like, and I'm gonna take it there. I just feel like,
Do it.
Why is the only fat person on the show
always comic relief? That's
always
the thing.
Yeah. And then like last scene, everybody was like all on her because she had lost the weight. She gained it back, but she had lost like a significant amount of weight. And then they were like, oh, she's relevant now. And it's just like, nah, she's always been funny. She's always been doing it.
Sexy too. Fuck you.
Clearly, yeah. But
you're a bad bitch.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like, why? Couldn't it have been anybody else? Everybody else funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
I know you
not
didn't
the
think
pregnant
about it.
one. We don't want the pregnant one tased.
Yes.
I feel like she's the only person who can handle that type of comic relief and that action that requires that. It's unfortunately no. Unfortunately, because she is bigger. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying put that aside. I think her character itself, put her face and her body size away. I think she's the only person in the cast because she's so different than anybody else. If it was her or it'd be Chad who can do that.
Yeah.
Those are the only two people who can do it. Who can pull that off and it'd be funny, right? That's all I think I'm saying.
Yeah, I think
Why was her character built up specifically in that way?
I was gonna say.
But it's just like Chad, like they're supporting cast, like they add that comic relief.
That is. Nah, I think that's what church is for, actually. I'm pretty sure that's the purpose of church. Yeah, church is like dick and pussy, dick and pussy. It's not? Wow. Heard you.
Amen.
Good, Mike. Good.
I think that it's her personality. Like, I think her and Chad, like, I do agree. They're the most stable personality. Like, they have their career figured out. They have a place to live. Like, they're the most sure of themselves. So everything else can happen to them. Like, Chad's the only one who could be like, oh, yeah, I got the clap. I cheated on this girl. But so what? I'm out here. Like, everyone else is ashamed and going through a lot of emotional angers. And they're just like, this is me. I don't care. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Or Tiffany, because she's pregnant. We can't be putting babies in danger.
So that scene wasn't funny to me at all.
It wasn't needed. It was not needed.
No, just in general, when I saw that happen, I was like immediately triggered because they just finished fighting with white people. They got kicked out of Coachella, so that wasn't even a funny
authority
scene to me.
figures
I
are
was just like,
tasing them.
oh shit! Like it reminded me of like just like states and violence.
I think one thing that's really important with the show, we need to realize that just because of our skin color doesn't change things that happen in life, right? You're supposed to come for me right now, right? You're supposed to drag me out
disclaimer.
here. No,
I hate to do this.
Wait, hold on. No,
I'm gonna go. I just want everybody to know that.
Goodness.
Warrior,
that
it
makes
matters.
no difference. That means I'll tell you. I promise you.
It makes a huge
difference. No. Listen.
This nigga's from Canada.
Listen.
From Canada. Everyone must know that. Boo this man!
Listen. Oh, no, listen up, right? Sorry, listen. Okay, listen.
Whoa.
Well, I think what's important is, like the first episode, like in the first season where like Kelly was getting fingered at the restaurant. Like these are real life issues that happen to people.
That's not
like
an issue.
people be getting fingered at restaurants.
That's lit.
You know what I'm saying? But like her getting no, listen. But what I'm saying is like you would see what I'm saying is you would see these type of things that happen in like white comedy, but it's okay to see them represented in black community because these things do happen to people. And I think one thing I like about Insecure is that they go there, and I like that about the show, is that they let you know, like even though it's a black show, the things that happen can represent white America, and they can represent black America, that at the end of the day, like we are all the same versus the color of our skin.
I think the bigger question though was like, why is the big girl always the one for comedic relief? So not just Kelly,
always,
but like I can't.
Everywhere.
So many shows I can think of, like the big girl is not like, yo, she got, the great man or girl, whoever she's dating, she's lit, she got her shit together. It really be, she peeing on herself. Exactly. It really do, like, fucked up shit is happening to her, And I feel like that goes towards, like, other media stereotypes, like, maybe a guy who, like, assaults women, right? They always make it like some weird looking dude, instead of it being like a regular motherfucker, like an attractive motherfucker. It don't really be. It really be ugly, bald. It's a guy.
Right. No, I think of Bridesmaids when fucking the bigger girl was shitting in the bathroom.
Yes.
Like it's always the bigger girl. That's
even talk shows like I don't know.
The Real?
The Real.
It's always Ronnie Love. Yeah, exactly.
The joke of it.
Exactly.
Or even the one with Whoopi Goldberg. Like, the big girl always... Again, maybe I'm taking that too far. I don't know these niggas. I don't know. But there's always a big girl who's always the joke of it. And
exactly.
It annoys me so much.
Yeah. But I also want to highlight the positivity because it's not all negative. I was just about to say, it's not always negative with Kelly. I do appreciate the fact that they're representing the fact that she has a healthy sexual lifestyle, which is not always represented. The fact that she's always down for everything. She's always like, yo, y'all need to chill. Let's just have a good time. Like, a lot of the time, she's the life of the party, which is good. I don't want to say that it's only negative because I fucking love Kelly, and she's always getting lit, and I'm like, yes, girl, that's me. We're doing this. So it's not always negative. I wish it didn't have to be her getting tased and peed, but at the same time, there's a balance. Issa be getting into some shit too, man.
Right, and that's what
Issa's a mess. I feel like a lot of the characters on the show, it balances out because a lot of the characters are a mess.
Right, Right.
Yeah.
And that's something that I was going to piggyback off of. Like, I think all of the characters in the show are funny in their own way. Like, I don't think they're picking on Kelly because of her size. I think Kelly, she's just naturally funny. Like, when you watch, like, the wind downs that they have at the end of the episodes, she does a lot of improv. And, like, she don't even have to have a script that she's reading from because she's naturally that funny. And I think they play up on that. And then in terms of her being the one that's tased, Insecure is great for their like underhanded social commentary, like with whether it's Issa's phone case or it's her T-shirt. I think Kelly being the one that's tased just talks about like what else would happen to a black woman at Coachella who maybe got a little bit too much to drink. She's not gonna get escorted out politely. She's gonna get tased, right? So I think that's what they're getting at. And then like when they have like the "We Got You" shirt where it's a white hand with black little kids in it. All of that stuff is done purposefully, and so I don't think her being tased in that scene was done negatively. I think they're just talking about what happens to black people in white America.
Can we talk about the other things that are purposely done in this season? And I'm segueing to the criticism that Insecure has had on their sex scenes and lack of safe sex presentation, and then Lawrence getting chlamydia. Let's speak on that. What y'all think?
I think it was just kind of brushed over though, because it's kind of like, yep, happens all the time.
Chlamydia?
It's real life. Somebody said it was real life.
Does it happen all the time?
But they didn't talk about
Will
any
has
prevention
thoughts.
or anything. Go ahead.
Team Lawrence over here.
I mean, I feel like most people love the show because it's relatable and it's real life. I mean, I never had chlamydia, but I know people who have. So it happens. And a lot of us aren't using condoms. I mean, we have a condom dispenser here. It says safe sex is great sex. And you know what? How many people come to this bar, read that, and I hear them laughing like, it's not really great sex. And, you know, in reality, it's really not that great when you're using a condom. So they're just being to reality. I mean, I'm sorry, just speaking for me, I can't speak for everybody else.
Speak for yourself,
For me, I don't personally, and some people don't. But I get to see the reaction that people have to the condom dispenser. And it's rare that people do grab. And a lot of times people literally say, it's not actually great sex. So I think it's just real life, and that's what they're trying to show. So
We here at Uprising say
We
that
always
safe
promote
sex
safe
is great
sex. A quick condom tip. Sorry. Lube on the inside and outside of the condom.
Will fuck your life up.
Try it. Try
Do
it.
it.
He's snapping.
Yes.
He tried it. Testimony. Testimony.
Lube on
I
the
agree.
inside.
He agrees. Heard you. Question.
Change your lives.
Do you hold on? Do you as far as the lube, the inside and the outside, do you like squeeze the lubrication on the inside of the condom?
Yes.
Or do you like massage this shit with it and then put it on?
Lube on the inside of the condom and then work how you need to.
Lube on the inside?
Yes.
You can put it directly in the condom, or you can put it on the penis. Yes, the dick. And then put the condom on, and it's a little bit more motion in the person with the penis's ocean.
Yes.
You feel me? Try it tonight, because I know you're getting some tonight.
Is she offering?
Testimony.
Is she offering?
It works.
It works. I don't know what you just said, but I'm not going to delve into it. Safe sex is the best sex.
Yes.
Do y'all think it's the responsibility of the show, being that we're viewing it and there's a lot of people to promote safe sex, or just because it's a real life situation doesn't mean that it's not something we should change? Go ahead.
This nigga preach me fucking raw. Just kidding.
Thank you, Sam. No, I think Rod said it. It's like the vulnerability of Lawrence is what people really fall in love with. It's a simple fact that like a lot of us have been put in that position where we've left a long-term relationship, so we feel like we're free and we're gonna do whatever. Just like the montage scene where he was meeting different women and he ended up fucking them, and so it ends up being like, oh, this is the life. When in reality, it's like something's still missing. You could be fucking all the women you want, but at the end of the day, like, you might see that girl that you were with years ago, and you might, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of miss that whole just watching the movie and chilling in pajamas and shit, or just regular shit. So I think that's why a lot of men really gravitate towards Lawrence.
He has a real story. That's why I'm glad he came back.
Yeah.
Is anybody mad that Lawrence came back?
I am.
Ooh.
Woo! Speak on it.
We gotta
Speak
talk
on
to
it.
Dorothy.
Please.
Why are you mad? You better get that hand out of her face.
Skirt. I'm mad because listen, there's one thing you don't do on TV. You can't say nobody's coming back and then you bring them back. That's a TV lie. You can't lie like that on TV.
You can't lie like that.
You cannot say, oh, such and such not coming back. Everybody's on the blog saying, oh, he not coming back. We mad. We tight. Then he really showed up. I was like, you deceived me? HBO? I don't even know who to be mad at. Am I mad at HBO? Am I mad at Issa? Like, who the fuck am I mad? I'm mad, though. I'm mad. You can't do that. If you're going to say, like, oh, we don't know if he's going to be back, that's one thing. But, oh, he not coming back. Yeah. I believe that shit. I'm like, he not coming back. I was like, whatever. I mourned him. I was, you know, I shed a fake tear and whatever. I was sad.
I agree on that.
What job?
I agree on that. And that, the explanation of why Lawrence wasn't coming back kind of sold me in the fact that, you know, it's a portrayal of real life that exes break up and go their separate ways and never rekindle. And that was like, you know what? Y'all are right. And then who the fuck shows up at a 7-Eleven? Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Y'all could have just said, we don't know what's going to happen. We'll see if that nigga come back.
Insecure are some goddamn liars.
Apparently.
You cannot trust them.
Apparently.
So you cannot trust them.
We have a question from our live.
Yes.
It's kind of a segue back to the Kelly question.
Okay.
So the question is, if you're insecure about your weight and others tell you about it, is it bad to encourage to keep the unhealthy weight or lose it and unfortunately hurt their feelings in doing
Can we
so?
talk about the fact that weight is not necessarily unhealthy first?
That's
Amen.
a fact.
That's literally a fact. Look it up. Obesity does not equal
I don't
unhealthiness.
really know what the... Is it bad? Okay, there you go. Somebody's going to answer it because I didn't understand it. But he's going to answer?
Are you going to answer? I mean, that's just the black-ass fact.
Yeah.
Weight does not equal unhealthiness. So fuck you.
I'll repeat the question.
Let me see.
The question is, I'm reading it verbatim. If you're insecure about your weight and others tell you about it, is it bad to encourage to keep the unhealthy weight or lose it and unfortunately hurt their feelings in doing so?
You don't have to hurt niggas' feelings because weight is not necessarily unhealthy.
It's your body, so
person
do
for
whatever
person,
it is
if
that you
you're
want to do with your
overweight
own body.
or what society deems as overweight,
But
and
I
you're
think
working out.
And I'm not trying to defend whatever he's saying. I'm just,
Okay.
I think I'm trying to interpret it as, I think what he's saying is maybe the man doesn't necessarily, or woman, doesn't find it appealing or attractive to them anymore. So is there an approach where somebody can actually go to the other person and say, I don't really find your weight attractive anymore?
I think up front you can say that, and if
Without
the other
hurting
person,
their feelings, I'm sorry.
it depends on how the person interprets it. I think up front you can say that, and if the person's feelings are hurt or don't fuck with it, they can just dip out. I don't find the weight that you've put on attractive. I feel like you should just be able to say whatever the fuck you want to say. You're in a full relationship with this person, so...
I mean, you can say it, but I don't have to respect it.
Yeah, they don't have to respect it, and they can
don't
just
have to
dip out.
respect
Like, I'm
Yeah.
done. Fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, tell your truth. If it's something that you're not trying to deal with, sure, but...
I mean, it's up to y'all to ruminate on
Niggas
it.
be wildin'.
If that's a deal breaker for you, then dip out.
Will got something to say.
Will has something to say.
I actually experienced this.
Oh.
So like,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
some of y'all that see me for a while, like I gained weight. Most of y'all like, oh yeah, you're not fat, whatever. Yeah, well, it's all here. So you know, I got a girl now or whatever, and it's relationship weight, and I probably put on like 20 pounds actually, and I think communication is key. So if she doesn't like it, she needs to tell me she don't like it. I personally don't like it, and I want to get rid of it anyway. But we talk about it all the time. Like I'm like. Well, I think, that's the thing. Communication, everybody has an idea of their own of what's going to make a relationship work. And to me, communication is what makes that relationship work. You got with me at a certain weight. You liked me. You thought I was cute at that weight. But now I'm changing. And if physically you're going to have an issue with that, you should let me know. Because that's where things get stale. And that's where things, now you're no longer being the person that I fell in love with. You're no longer that, you know. And sometimes people are like, well, it shouldn't be physical. If you love somebody, it doesn't matter. It's, you know, all of this and that. But that's where you work together, and that's where a real relationship is formed. And I think you're gonna see that more in Insecure.
Let's flip it.
Later,
I'm gonna flip it because when I started, the last year, I lost 50 pounds. So what if somebody told me that they didn't like me because when they dated me in the beginning, I was bigger, and now they don't like the progress that I'm making in my own life? I think it's easier to flip it around because you're like, oh, that's unhealthy. It's unhealthy behavior. Let me encourage them. But what if somebody just prefers you bigger? Then what?
That's okay, right? If they want you to be bigger, they need to communicate. Like, well, you lost this weight, and I don't like the fact that you lost this weight. But the communication, they need to tell you that. And as long as they're telling you that, that's when y'all say, hey, do we want to work through this, or do we not want to work through it?
I think it depends on what the intention is. Like, if your partner says to you, I feel like I'm bigger and I want to lose this weight, then you can have a conversation of, okay, yeah, babe, I noticed you got a little heavier. How can I help you reach your goal, right? Now it's healthy. You're losing weight. I'm encouraging you, and no one's feelings are hurt. But then if it's something like where you said you're going to flip it, where you lost weight and your partner does not support you losing weight, well, this is my goal. My goal was to lose this weight. And if you don't support it, then I can't support you not supporting it, right? I think at the end of the day, your intention is what matters. Like, if you're concerned that your partner is maybe getting heavier and you think it's unhealthy, you can say, I'm concerned about your health status and I want to continue to love you. I want you to be around. Can I help you work out or whatever it is? You know what I mean?
Or what if you lose weight and they feel like it's unhealthy, but it's healthy for you?
Losing weight can be very unhealthy. We got a homie.
So this is piggybacking off of what she's saying. It's really, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. That's what it comes down to. I mean, if you're, regardless of whether you flipped it, you didn't flip it, at the end of the day, it's really how you communicate that to your partner. How you tell them kind of what's on your mind. If you come at them negative, regardless of how you feel, what do you think's gonna happen? They're not going to take what you say, and it can cause, it could be the root of maybe why you guys aren't together in the future. So I mean, you kind of have to be mindful of what you say. You speak life into your partner. You don't tear them down.
Of course you can.
I was gonna say, but what if you get into a relationship with someone, you express what you want, what you like, and then, weight is very superficial, so I'm not just gonna throw it out there. But I'm just saying, like, let's say you work out, you met this person, y'all was going to the gym, y'all meeting at the gym, y'all doing track. Then like 3 months later, she's eating more carbs than you anticipated. And then like 3 months later, she's hitting a number. You're not comfortable with that. It's like, you're not that person I fell in love with. Like, that definitely happens, and that definitely goes on. It's kind of like, how do you sustain that? Like, this is what I want from someone. Like, I love you for who you are, but this is not who I signed up to do that.
Does that mean you love them for who they are, or you love the idea of who they were when you met them?
Well, this is not who you presented when I met you, and that's different. We tend
but
to.
Am I what I look like, or am I me?
But who do you present to be? You could present to be a communicative ass bitch, and then when shit goes down.
But we're not talking about that, Akua. We're talking about physicality.
Okay,
so what if I gain 20 pounds? What up? It's also communicating ass bitch too. That's all.
But what they've said is that you presented as a person who acted actively.
I can still be active and gain 24 pounds.
Yes, you can.
There's fat people who can outrun my ass.
Yes,
I don't do anything.
I don't do shit either. I don't do shit either. But then there comes that communication. If you felt that what they're presenting now is not the same as what they presented in the beginning, you have to see that and see where you guys are, what's going on.
I think the bottom line is to have that conversation. Both
communication is
right.
key. We say it every episode.
What they really do.
In her Uprising.
Yeah.
iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play.
That's all we talk about.
I don't think that's only a physical thing though. That could happen like on some emotional level or mental level too. So you could not like anybody because they acting selfish now or whatever, because maybe they business, they want to be more business-like or whatever the case. So, shit changes just I guess what you could deal with. You know what I'm saying, at that time, or keep further on.
And communicating that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Every day.
Yeah.
When I see
every
motherfucking day
a cute nigga who looks like me, Christina, it is love in that moment.
Sam exclusively dates
It's not
light
really
skinned
love.
people.
It's not. It's not.
Are you separating physical and who the person is that much? To where they're two different kind of things?
People are.
They go hand in hand. Like, they go, whether you like it or not, I bet you all your past have a theme. They got a commonality in them. But they're still the same, though. It's still a preference, whether you like it or not. There's still a...
But we can't.
I'm gonna go with the extreme. So if you're dating somebody and they start to take like drugs, for example, that could be a deal breaker for you because you can't handle that. You may not want to handle someone who does coke or whatever kind of coke. But it is, right? But it can still be something that you could change. You're like, yo, don't do that, and you can help them with it. But if you go through a part and you're like, I'm not attracted to this in you, right? And you're like, this is not for me. It can be the same thing with someone who gains weight. You're like, this is not what, wait. This one I'm not attracted with you. Like, this isn't it for me, and you need to stop. You have that conversation, and they're like, nah, I just want to do this. But there's things in that you don't like. You have the opportunity to be like, this isn't for me. I don't want to be here.
Can you use an example that is? Everybody can hear me, right? Can you give me an example that is less, that is more superficial? Because I feel like for me, I'm feeling like drugs are an inner issue, a personality issue, because you have to feel a certain type of way to use drugs and want to continue to use drugs. You want to alter your mind. You want to do shit that could kill you.
So I can
you know what I'm saying?
I can give you a bit of an example.
Who's talking?
So wait, I'm sorry.
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh, man.
We lit. These niggas from Canada, bro. They have better health insurance, but everything else, it's fucked up. It's fucked up. We need a mop.
Yeah, but to that point, I think so. One of the things that we spoke about a little bit earlier was ambition. So somebody has ambition, or at the beginning they had ambition to start their own business or to do something that is outside the regular 9 to 5, like Lawrence and everything like that. That's one aspect of a person that can be a part of the whole. A body is another aspect of that person as well. So what's to say that the body or the ambition is over their physical looks for somebody? That's a part of their package. I said, what's to say that somebody is, what's to say that the ambition of that person is, I don't know, above and beyond their physical looks? I mean, they're all, well, you said, okay, so basically what I'm saying is.
Can I paraphrase?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so let's bring it back to the show, and these are very tangible examples. In the beginning, Lawrence had a certain ambition where he wanted to start his own app, and then when shit started to get slow, he got depressed, he fell down, and Issa lost interest, but she didn't communicate that. And then we see the flip side of that, where Lawrence is now attracted to her ambition of starting something.
Oh shit!
But and then
aside from that, oh shit. From how that started and right now, mind blowing.
And
but
then
continue.
He's attracted to her ambition of starting her own thing, and then subsequently loses attraction because she seems to have taken a pause. She's not dealing that rejection or that overwhelmment for easily. That's what we're trying to liken it to. Physical attraction is a part of a person, so as their ambition and other personality types. So here you have someone that presented as ambitious. When they fall back on that, when that changes for them, we are no longer attracted to that.
Oh shit! What the fuck? Are you okay, Camille?
Are you babe? All right.
Oh shit!
Why did they collapse though?
Oh shit! It broke.
No. Are you all right though? Okay.
Take the couch, boo. That's crazy.
I'm sorry about that.
Camille, you could stack those pizzas on top of each other, and so you got more space on the couch.
Okay.
Yo.
You guys can
Shout
also
out to
grab
Camille.
seats on those couches. Spread your weight evenly on these benches I see. Just back it up a little bit. I'm right here, you're right there.
So cool.
Yes.
Basically, what
Yeah,
I'm
one more
saying
question,
is,
y'all.
what I'm saying is, I know that's ambition, and the inner you is not superficial. Your body, though, that is superficial. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, I feel like if you are just focusing on you falling in love with with how someone looks, when everybody know everybody's body changes, you know? Like, is that real love? Is that real, like, I'm not saying you can't become like physically unattracted to somebody, but when it goes deeper and I fell in love with who I thought you were, and it's like you are not. I don't think you are your body. I think your body changes.
So it sounds like your understanding of love is that physical attraction plays a minimal part, and for some people that might be a bigger piece of the pie, you know. So if physical attraction is a big thing for me, and if I'm no longer physically attracted to you, that may affect our relationship. It may. I can't lie and say that it's not. You know, so that may be you as a person, but for other people, physical attraction may be a bigger piece of the equation for them.
Yeah,
I'm getting old.
That's what I'm saying.
I think too, like, it's kind of about preference too. Like, preference plays like a big part in, you know, talking to somebody. Like, the main reason why I probably came up to say hi to you is because I like the way you look. You know what I'm saying? So, like, after a while, if I like your attitude, I like your personality and things like that, as well as your physical. But now, your
that's
physical,
exactly what
it's
I'm
kind of like
talking
a
about.
mind, body, and soul type of thing. Like,
That's exactly what I'm
1,
talking
2,
about.
3.
So that whole I looked at you and I liked the way you looked. Is that love or is that lust?
Nah, but that's one part of it. Then you got everything else that come with, like, the personality and the attitude that you like.
Anybody ever dated a crazy bitch? Like, not funny crazy, not cool crazy, like bad crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter how she looks. Sis is crazy. So like you know what I'm saying? I've dated crazy bitches. You eat with your eyes first, and then what if the food is poisonous? What if the food is poisonous?
But it tastes good.
And
that might. Oh, I got one more thing to say. One thing real quick.
And if it's poisonous, you die.
But what if
the food is poisonous, you die.
What if the poisonous is coming out of your looks?
You don't think that though, but once you
to
eat
play
the shit,
devil's
you
advocate,
die.
Christina.
Okay.
You be dating ugly people?
Never.
Wait. I heard you.
They don't be ugly to me.
But do you know their personality first?
Nah.
So you don't date ugly people. It plays a role in it. And not maybe a large role, but it plays a role.
I'm not dating. I want to get to know a person before I do anything like super serious with them. Like,
their look may diminish the more that you get to know them, but it played a part in the reason why you introduced
I'm not saying it plays no part. I'm just saying I feel like the inner is
so that's what
way more important.
So that's what I'm saying. As you get to know someone, it may diminish for you what they look like, but for some people it doesn't. You know, for some people, physical attraction still plays a bigger part.
So is that lust or is that love?
That could be love for them. I can't define love for you. I can't say that you loving someone's inner person is love and mine loving someone's outer person is not.
My grandma used to say that the looks get you in the door, but your personality, your substance keep you in the house. So I feel like that can go with other things. You may have a conversation with a person, then after months you realize that person is dumb as fuck. Like, it's a lot of things that can turn them off besides looks. Like, you can date a pretty dunce, you know? You can date someone that's looking good and then they got nothing upstairs. I feel like looks is not just the end all be all, but we're visual creatures. We see you first. Like, I see you first. You could be ugly as fuck and you dress mad swaggy, and it's like, okay, well, I can overlook that. Like, your person, it's looks first. Like, your looks keep you in the house. Your personality gonna keep you fat. So.
Word, I fucks with that right there. And I was just gonna say, like as far as a whole, it's trying to kind of like a trinity type of thing. Like I was saying, like mind, body, soul is like looks, personality, and whatever the third thing is. So it's like
this nigga don't know.
Community.
This nigga's all looks.
I don't know. Yeah, whatever
the fuck that shit is, I really don't care. I don't care.
Word, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of it's all in all. So like this plus this equals this, but it's like this minus this, I can't fuck with you no more, or something like that. It's like that type of vibe. So.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up with this last question.
So there's been a lot of criticism on the portrayal of the show revolving around Issa's relationships, and that in the beginning it was Lawrence, then it was Daniel, now it's Nathan or Nansford, and that a lot of people feel that it should be revolved around her friendships. And I kind of want to get y'all thoughts on that.
What is the criticism? That she's running through mad guys?
That the show is primarily
about guys.
About her relationships with guys, even her friends' relationships with guys. Because if you want to bring Molly into it, sure, first she was looking for a black man to marry with, settle down, and then there was Joe, and now there's Andrew. You know, so just this portrayal that black women need or are fixated on romantic relationships as their end all be all, like the main focus of the show. Because we also have Issa's professional life, which is going, you know, to the wayside. We have Molly's professional turbulence and things like that. But it seems like the main focus is these niggas.
I just think, first off, like it's a woman's show. You know what I mean? The counterparts is no. I mean, I mean as in there's a woman who produces the show and the main characters are mostly like women, like Issa and her crew.
Let him finish.
Yeah,
You might have a thought that you might not even be on. Just let him finish.
It's about Issa, which is a woman, right? She's a woman, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And her crew, they all women too.
Yeah.
And they're not gay, right? They're straight. So you're gonna talk about their dating, and then dating is dating men. So they talking about relationships with men at the same time. And
But is that all they are?
No.
Are they women that date men?
No, but I'm just saying that brings a lot of people to watch the show too. Mm-hmm. Like it brings men to watch the show too, because I ain't gonna front, like I don't watch the show like oh shit, this is coming on Sunday, blah blah blah. Like, but right now I know it's a vibe. I came here to watch the show. So like I look at the show, like I kind of analyze the show, like this is good that we all here in the same bar talking about the show and everything like that. So I feel like that brings the juice to why everybody watches the show. You know what I mean?
Pass your mic to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say, like, I think the show is more than just Issa and her friends and their relationships. I think a big integral part of the show is their work relationships. Like, we all know We Got Y'all and how Issa feels about Frida and all that. We all know how Molly felt about leaving her old job, and I think in LA, and now she's in Chicago or something like that.
No. She's still
No, she's still in LA.
But it was white firm versus black firm.
Right. So I think we're all pretty hip to their work life, but Issa just had a 30th birthday. You know, these women are thinking about their biological clocks. They see one of their friends is pregnant, another one of their friends is married, even though it's an open marriage with Dro and all that. Like, that's what real women go through. When you get to a certain age, you start thinking about your relationship and your work life and your this. So I think it's just realistic for what they're going through as black women. And like he said, dating is something we can all relate to. I mean, look, we're all very different in this room, but we came together to talk about Issa and her relationships and her friendships. You know, we can all relate to that. That's a talking point for everybody, no matter what you look like. So I think it was genius for the show to be based off of relationships, but there's more to these characters than just who they're like fucking, you know.
And it's not just the women on the show. The men on the show are talking about their relationships too. They talk about him trying to get his fiance back. They talking about Lawrence trying to figure out what he want to do. Don't do that. Don't instigate. But it's also, like we were saying, it's a parallel to real life. I mean, at the end of the day, you talk about work, all that type of stuff, but when you're chilling with your boys or your girls or whatever, you talking about, you know, oh, such and such hit me up. We have those conversations. That's real life too.
And I like just to add on to what I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Camille said. I think the show is about the insecurities that we all go through. The show is called Insecure, and Issa is the main character, so of course it's going to be focused on her life, whether it be with her friends and her job and her relationships, but it's really about the insecurities that we all may encounter throughout life. And it touched on Lawrence's insecurities, Daniel's insecurities, her insecurities, Molly's insecurities, and if it had to do with relationships that we go through, then so be it.
I just want to say one thing. That's why I like the baby shower episode a lot, because they focus on Kelly and her relationship with Tiffany, and they just look at that relationship and they're finally like bringing it into like what they're going through, and I really appreciated that, and I hope that season 4 kind of like dives more into that, and especially with like Molly and Issa, you kind of see their relationship, the way she confronted her on like the last episode. So I hope season 4 will go more into that, and I can see that growing.
And even to piggyback off of that, even the 7-Eleven car scene with Tiffany and Issa, you know, where she was insecure about her journey into motherhood and how it would affect her friendships, you know. And that was a real moment, because I didn't know what Tiffany was there for until then. So I was like, we friends with her for what?
Like her whole character?
Yeah. From the beginning, I was just like, so why are y'all friends with her? And then I saw that real emotion where it was like, yo, you really value these friendships and you're afraid of what new phases in your life is going to bring for these relationships. And I was like, you know what? I can see Tiffany for, you know, a person now. I can see her for a character now.
Yeah, I disagree. I don't think the show focuses on their relationship as much. I think that it touches base on a lot of different things. Like, I think they're dating so many niggas. Like, I think that aspect is just it's just the world. Like, I feel like it's like that meet one, next 15 one coming. I feel like after you leave a toxic environment, you get that fake glow up for like 20 minutes, and then all the guys flock to you. And I feel like you have to like, you know, figure that out. And then you get to that like bumpy road where you alone again. Like, I feel like it touches base on a lot of different things that people in their 30s, like 20s, are trying to figure out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't feel like it's just like, oh, we dating, like da da da. I feel like it touches on a lot of stuff.
All right.
Any final thoughts?
I have a final question.
Go for it.
Final thought, I just hope Issa's brother is a lot more.
He is hilarious.
He's so mean.
Compassionate, nigga, damn. Compassion.
Right.
Yes.
Like, why does my brother hate me like that? Yeah, I have a little brother, and he don't hate me like that. He don't drag me like
drag
that.
her.
Right. I am the little sister, and I do exactly that.
You're fucking.
Is that your friends? I'm like, nope, and I just walk away. It's funny.
Ouch.
It's funny. Yeah.
Ouch.
We all laugh about it later.
Any other final thoughts?
My final thought. Do y'all miss Due North? I hate slavery. Like, I hate slavery. That hit me.
That was a good fake show. That was a good fake show.
This new show, what is it called?
I don't know. No one knows.
I don't care. No one knows. No one cares.
I don't care.
I don't know. Yeah, it was something.
They're trying to make it a mashup of every single.
So this
90s
petition for more episodes needs to include a sub petition for Due North again, y'all. We gonna pass the paper around. Y'all gonna sign y'all names. We gonna get this.
We have no paper.
Hush, ho. You don't know what I got. It's a napkin. We was gonna figure it out.
I'm just being honest. Any other final thoughts?
Well,
hey.
I was just about to say,
nigga, I hope so.
Thank everybody who was here for every episode. Thank everybody who was here now
for at least one
episode. Thank y'all for participating, debating, doing all this. You guys are the greatest. I hope we're back for season 4, and we hope you guys are all
Secure
back for
Sunday.
season 4.
Y'all gotta start these petitions.
We're excited.
Ooh,
you starting something.
I just want to put my bid in. I want to host the next season of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Hello.
Come on.
Corey's shaking his head.
Do people not like Game of Thrones? Anyway.
Again, this was brought to you by Uprising, a podcast of sex, love, and dating from 4 queer black feminists.
Bruh, move.
Christina over there. Gang, gang, gang. And hosted by Love Story. Thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all.
Live stream by Cast Sound Lab.
Yes.
Isn't that Morris Chestnut in the corner over there? This nigga looks like Morris.
All right, good night, y'all. Good night, y'all. She's tired. Good night, y'all.